Hey guys, how's it going? I know you've seen me in a couple of videos before, but we haven't been really introduced. My name is Dan, and Eli said that I could make a couple of videos for you guys. I might make some more, I might die, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, what I got for you is this freaking awesome thing right here. I made this halberd, and I'm going to show you guys how to make this guy. So I'm going to be taking this big, huge guy right here. There's a hammer for comparison. Some of you might know what that's from, but if you don't, that's actually from an anime called Bleach. I don't actually watch the show. I just saw the sword and I thought it was pretty cool. It's just been sitting out here in my garage for a while and I don't do anything with it. I used to chop wood with it or whatever, just to mess around, but it's super unruly, unwieldy, whatever you want to call it. And it's not very practical at all. So, I'm actually going to turn this into two different weapons. Now I'm probably doing this one of the hardest ways possible. I think the next hardest possible way to do this would be to actually chop down the tree yourself. But I'm going to be taking this 2x4 and I'm actually going to cut it down the center, round out the edges as much as I can, and that'll be the pole. My reasoning for doing this is, I could order a pre-cut dowel online that's already, in a perfect circular shape, but it would take a couple days to get here and it would be more expensive than just buying this guy, and I have the free time now as opposed to, I don't know if I'll have the free time in a couple days when it arrives. So instead I'm just gonna do it this way because I feel adventurous and I feel like I can do it. Now this bottom section here, from the bottom of the handle all the way up to this line you see here, the zigzag line, that's going to be the halberd. I'm also going to chop this tip off of the blade at that line right there, and that I'm going to turn it, and it's actually going to be welded on the back up here for a back spike. And this middle section will be used for a second video you'll see coming out pretty soon. Now that I got that all cut out, I'm going to remove this wrapping. This thing is actually a little more quality than I thought because it's actually held in by these two little pegs here. Most mass-produced swords don't do that. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Make a few more cuts with the angle grinder here and up here. And now that those are cut, I'm going to clean those up using a grinding wheel and a flap disc. Then using the same flap disc, I'm going to remove this black finish that's on here and add a bevel to this point. Now that that's mostly cleaned up, I'm now going to cut this guy along this straight line right here, and then later I'll bring this over to Eli's house so that we can weld it together. Clean it up using an angle grinder. Actually going to split this piece of wood down the middle using this table saw. So I've angled my table saw over to 45 degrees. Now I'm going to cut along these corners to turn it into more of an octagon instead of a square. It's kind of dangerous cutting it out at an angle like this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it along using this block of wood so my hand isn't anywhere near that blade. Messy, 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 messy. Close enough, it'll be easier to sand down and get to the shape I want it to be. But seriously guys, whenever you're sanding something as much as I'm about to be sanding, wear a mask. You might not think it, but a lot of little sawdust can actually mess up your lungs. So please, please, please wear a mask. It doesn't have to be as heavy duty as this one, but at least some kind of mask. Now I've got this all sanded down, it's more or less a circle. Now I gotta use my table saw again to cut a slit all the way down the pole, the same length as the blade. So I finished cutting the slit in it, and then I drilled these two holes right there and there. They line up perfectly with these two. You'll see what that's for later. I'm going to attach this counterweight. It's sitting in here pretty snug right now, but to make sure, I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to drill 2 holes in here and stick 2 nails through and break my own rivets. Now that I got these nails pounded through, I'm going to cut these a little short and then hammer it down and mushroom it out. Now that that's on secure, I'm going to give this a nice wood finish. Now we're going to work on getting this blade attached. What we're going to do is slip it on here. And if you remember those 2 holes we drilled before, what I'm going to attempt to do is hold it on using wooden pegs. What I've actually done is I've gone and tapered this so that when I pound it in, it'll be easier at first, but then as I pound it in, it'll get tighter and tighter. So I pounded this one in from this side. I'm actually going to flip it over and pound the other one in from the other side. Now that we got those both in, I'm going to sand down those points. Now those little pegs are what's going to keep this blade from flying out of place. But now I'm really going to make this secure by wrapping this guy all up with some paracord. There you have it. That guy's all wrapped up and ready to fight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked it. I thought it turned out pretty darn awesome. If you keep an eye out, because pretty soon we have a video showing how to make this guy.